this piece of human debris decided to take a videotape of what now? What is up, everyone? The Epic Deceit is on for 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, and Yosko is to blame. We are on Tell All Part 3, only one more part, and then we're going to roll into 90 Days, the original. But before we get to all that, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends, and if you want to show support, drop a super thanks. I definitely appreciate it. But we are going to get to all the craziness, the epic deceits as they roll through. But first, let's go to where we left off with Niles revealing himself like he's some kind of Superman under the Clark Kent glasses or something.
No, step out.
Guys, just make sure that you're not going to...
They don't get physical. No, I'm not. I'm okay.
Adnon, it's not nice to meet you.
He still says
You
it.
better hope I never see you out in public.
Come on, man. You better hope I never see you out in public. They didn't even have to put their hands on him. Again, like I've said about Niles, he is playing a part. He's trying to look tough. He is not tough, and that's okay. Not everyone is tough. You don't have to be. You don't have to. And it doesn't mean you're not tough if you don't go off and try to fight everybody. But I don't know what he's trying to do here. He's posturing, trying to make it seem like he's something he's not. It's best not to pretend, Niles. Just be who you are. You don't have to start fights. You can say, Adnon, I think you're kind of a douchebag person, and just leave it at that. You don't have to pretend like you're going to fight him. They didn't even have to put their hands on you to stop. You were never going to fight him. And then to say, you better hope I never see you in public, they weren't stopping you right here. Just do it right here. If you're going to fight him, go ahead, have that fight. It was never going to happen. And it's not becoming of Niles to continue to pretend like he's this person that's just going to go off and fight everyone. Yes, Adnon is poking the bear. He's just poking away. He was doing it this whole time. And guess what? The show ain't mad at it because it's good for TV. But him playing into it does not help.
He showed his true colors. He showed who he is. You just move on. His opinion, irrelevant.
Yeah, that's not bad advice, except for the fact that he's trying to make it seem like he's this tough guy. I mean, look, he's in his eyes. He's like, I want you to believe I'm this tough guy.
I'm never going to think about him again.
Yeah, now that's not true. He lives rent-free in your head. And he goes on to say some expletives, which we might revisit in the live, but because they're expletives, we're not going to do them here. Either way, Niles had to finish that out and try to look like the tough guy. I know he's trying so hard to prove it to everyone, but no one cares. You don't have to pretend like you're this guy that's going to fight people, or because some guy was on the set just making fun of everyone. Like, just don't pay him no mind. I mean, it's not even worth the time. I mean, that is one part that Vanya did have right in telling him it's not worth your effort, which it's not. But the problem is he's trying to really build himself up like he's this person that he just isn't. And everybody and their mom can see through it. Now, Vanya and Yosko finally join the show. Well, Vanya's been on it. Yosko finally joins it because, well, he had a small part in this whole episode, and he has some interesting takes on things.
For me, it's completely unreal to maintain 8 months relationship, get emotionally connected, and then once you meet in person, break up in one day.
I think it's not something that you do to a woman. Okay, so he's talking about Bozo's here whole thing. Now, Bozo isn't looking that bad, and we'll get to why that is. But Yosko has some interesting points of, hey, I don't think you do that to a woman. You don't break up with her in one day, and you don't not kiss her and show any emotion and all these things. You just don't do that to a woman. That's what Yosko says. That is an interesting statement, and we'll see why in a minute. Now, when talking about being intimate, she said he was great. He had some other takes on it.
Sex-wise, I don't know if it's a glass half empty or half full. Either I'm too big for her or she's too small for me. We did like one or two positions all the time.
Wow, thank you for sharing.
That doesn't sound like a very ringing endorsement after she said it was great. So then he kind of bashes them being intimate, saying they were only having one or two positions while giving himself a compliment in the process. So that all kind of really rounds out everything in just a minute when we see what he actually did.
I wasn't going to go here because this was very emotional for me, but I'm going to share it now that you shared that. Without my knowledge, he took a video of us while we were being intimate.
This piece of human debris decided to take a videotape of what now? Now, they go on to say that they talked about it, but there was never really a situation where they actually said they were going to do it, and he took it upon himself to go ahead and record it. They do say that after the fact, then he said, I was completely wrong, and I didn't realize, and I deleted it. I don't know if I buy that he actually deleted it, but the reality of the situation is you did something that was just completely wrong, and then now you're asking for forgiveness after the fact. But are we all shocked here? Meeting random dudes on dating websites probably isn't going to give you the best kind of personalities, the best kind of guys you want. Instead, you're looking for someone that's going to show you attention, and someone's probably going to show you attention when they're trying to sleep with you. And that seems to be what happened here, because he would have been slept with you. You held off until he came to Florida. Then he slept with you, and now y'all are all broken up. Is there a correlation there? Maybe stay off the dating apps. Either way, piece of garbage Yosko is, and the deceit he showed here was just epic levels.
Well, I mean, I went back hoping that things could potentially get reconciliated. We had fun time. We hung out on the beach, but obviously went nowhere.
So basically, this is where I disconnect a little bit. All of that happened before the whole, he recorded them when he was in Florida, then he went back. She was very upset by this here, but then he goes back, and then she still follows through with the trip and decides that she's going to go and spend time with him. Why? End it right there. Call it right there. Say, you completely violated trust. You completely just threw everything out the window because you wanted to make a tape, because clearly on this show she was very upset by it, and rightfully so, but yet you still went and visited him. Why would you even give that a glimmer of hope? And for only him to say, hey, I'm not feeling it, and then basically break up with you there? Listen, Vanya has got to learn that she's got to stay off the dating app. She's got to stop looking for that validation, even though she seems to be doing just fine in life. Stop looking for some sort of, respect that you are not going to get from dating app guys. You're looking for guys that are not going to show you respect. Find a right guy, stop looking for the bad boy, and you might actually get someone that is long-lasting. But until you do that, you're going to continue to find these problems on these dating apps.
Take a video like secret, and now talking about respect.
I don't want you to ever tell me about respect ever again.
Well, I will say the one thing, he is the great unifier, because he got Niles and Adnon on the same page to say he's a piece of garbage. So good job, Yosko. You brought peace to the world. Everybody doesn't like you, but you brought peace to everyone else.
Very capable, very beautiful, very amazing woman of so many talents. And I wish you all the best.
Uh-huh. Very nice words, except for the fact that they mean nothing, because, well, let's see. This is the problem, is they were both disingenuous at points. He seems like he used the whole, my kid thing, my kid seemed upset and all this kind of stuff. He even said on here that he didn't really think that when he left, his child, who he spent all this time with, was going to cry. And then when he realized that, then, it clicked something. I'm like, well, then you weren't putting your kid first, because if you really thought your child wasn't going to be upset, you have a problem. There's nothing wrong with parents going on vacation. They leave kids at grandparents' houses all the time, going on doing things. Parents still have a life too, as long as the kids are prioritized. But you making it seem like you did not think that he was going to be upset, that just says to me you're lying. So he's lying there. She is clingy and just jumps on the next best thing. They both have stuff they have to work on, but in this case, he came out as the bigger D-bag, for sure.
It's a shame that I just keep running into these situations where I am coming across wrong people for me.
It is a shame. Lay off the dating app. If you finally lay off these stupid dating apps that you keep jumping on, not just even in America, but let alone in foreign countries, what on earth do you think is going to happen? You really think you're going to find some great guy that really has your best interest at heart, that really wants to build a life for you, that really wants to build a future with you, that wants to have this magnificent family and all these things? No, what you're going to find is most guys looking for a quick hookup, looking for a booty call, and they're not going to call you again, or they're going to be someone that just lingers you along, kind of like Yosko did, kind of like Bozo did, at least. And I will say, good point made by my wife on this one, that Bozo doesn't look half bad, because even though it doesn't make any sense for her to get there in person and say, hey, we don't have, or him to say we don't have a connection, at least he didn't try to get with her, didn't try to hook up with her. At least he didn't do any of that. He said, I'm cutting it off now. So although he wasn't the best person, although he made mistakes, at least he had the decency to do that much. Good for him. So props to Bozo on that one. Never thought I'd say that. Now, Sonny and Veyah face the wrath of the panel because everyone wants to point fingers because they know they all make mistakes and they don't want their lives focused on so much. So Sonny and Veyah came to light, and of course they focus on the Rory situation because she brought her friend, who was her ex-boyfriend, and didn't tell Sonny about it. Who would have thought that was going to lead to some problems? And Niles decides to chime in on this because he is the insightful one, apparently.
Would you consider that a wise decision? With your brain completely engaged here, with logic taking front and center.
You're talking to me like I'm stupid, first off, Niles, and I'm not stupid.
He absolutely is talking to her like he's stupid, saying, do you think it's a good idea, basically, that you brought Rory with your brain completely engaged right now? Like, my God, man, Niles has turned out to be the person that really thinks super highly of himself. He hid behind his autism, and he still kind of does, and now he's coming out like the person that is just kind of like, wants to like be mean to everyone, which is weird because he was not this person on the show. He kind of came off as this, oh, I'm kind of like, I just love Matilda. I love Matilda. I just want to be with Matilda. This kind of, lovable, but yet I'm still telling some lies. So he had to be called out on some of these things, but not really anything that was someone you might think might actually have one of those personalities that is toxic. Now we're starting to wonder what he really has behind those glasses that he keeps raising up and showing people, I'm really angry. Because now every time he's just on the attack. And I really think a lot of it is him trying to divert attention from the lies he told. Because the reality of the situation is there is plenty that can be dissected from his own relationship.
I love to taking pictures because it makes me happy. Because I like to create my memories and hold my memories.
But what we're talking about is selfies of himself. So this whole thing was they were asking why Rory decided to put haha on some of Sonny's pictures. And then it's revealed that he takes a bunch of selfies, which is odd. So this is what I don't understand. Why he says he wants to keep his memories. Why are you taking a bunch of selfies of yourself for your memories? You're trying to look like a model. You're trying to come off as someone that is very photogenic, trying to aim for that modeling gig, aim for that acting gig. You want what a lot of these people want that come on these shows, and you want publicity, and that's pretty clear. Do I think that Sonny is on the same level? No, but it is not a normal thing for guys to take a bunch of selfies. I understand it's a little bit different now, and there's still a bunch of people out there like with their phones like this and everything, but it is ridiculous as a man to be out there taking a bunch of selfies of yourself. All that says is that you got a bigger ego than most, and we as men have egos, sure, but you keep it in check, you take care of your family, and you move on with your life. When you're doing all that crap, it shows me that your ego is potentially a runaway train, so look out for that. There is no reason to be so self-absorbed, so no problem with Rory putting haha on those pictures. Now, Loren and Faith are back in the spotlight again because there's just so much there, because obviously Loren was trying to use Faith, but now with some of the things we see here and Faith going back and forth with whether they are actually going to be together, it makes you wonder if Faith actually had ulterior motives.
Under attack, and I'm here to have his back because I feel like he's just misunderstood. He's not the villain that everyone thinks he is.
No, he's the villain. He's the villain that everyone thinks he is. Now, does that mean he's the only villain? No, almost every couple had someone that we can pick apart and dissect and show that they had plenty of issues, and there's no reason they should be in here searching for love, let alone on a TV show. It's either for publicity, it's either because you think you're ready and you're not. It's one of many reasons that are not actually love, but you're claiming it's love. And Loren is no different. He might be a little bit worse than most because he was aiming to be able to live in another country and even floated marrying Faith's mom, but he definitely was not the only one. But he is the villain, and his friend saying, I'm here to defend him because he's misunderstood. No, he had an STD and he was letting it leak everywhere and then decided he was acting like it was surprise. He was cheating on Faith nonstop. He had been married multiple times before. He had kids he's not taking care of. I mean, the list goes on of why this guy has a lot of problems that he needs to work on himself before ever being in a relationship.
That's the definition of stupidity right there. Yeah. Knowing that something is up, is wrong, get that you know she's not going to like that, but you did it anyway.
Like lying about not having the money for wedding, like lying about not wanting to get married or possibly wanting to get married, like lying about actually losing your job. How about all those things, Niles? So throw rocks in your glass house? This is the problem with Niles. He picks at everyone, but it fails to look at his own issues he is dealing with and is not capable of working on them. Because every time you see him, he wants to make it look like his relationship is the best thing ever. They're good. Did he watch the same stuff I watched? Because they definitely had multiple things and he lied all throughout. Now, is it something you can't overcome? No. And were his lies more egregious than some? Probably not. But you are picking and picking and picking at other couples when you have plenty you need to work on in your own house. So, time to stop. Loren was the first one he picked on. Then it was Adnon because Adnon picked on him. But the reality of the situation is stick to yourself. So basically the host had asked, do you see it realistic as y'all actually getting married? Because they've been back and forth. And Loren actually said, I bought a ticket. We're going to go to Thailand. We're going to get married there because they recognize it. When we've already been through this, if I remember correctly, they said even if you get married over there, that you wouldn't be able to be recognized over in the Philippines. But we're back to this again, I guess. The issue here is they still can't make up their mind. Faith is saying that it's framed as a vacation and then can decide. Loren's acting like they're getting married no matter what. Faith can't seem to make up any decision on the issue. So asked point blank, do you see yourself getting married? Then Faith says it's unrealistic. But then says we need to talk about it more. It's starting to look like more and more that maybe Faith wants something a little more and kind of is writing this out as he's giving more and more money. So there's definitely ulterior motives there, which we will see how all that plays out. But clearly it's not going well. And for some reason we can't make up our mind on what we're doing. But we'll see how it all plays out next week on part 4, which hopefully will be a climactic ending because ultimately, it's been kind of tame for a tell-all. But we'll see. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. Share it with your friends. I definitely appreciate all the support, and I will see y'all next time.